guys are too kind. Thank you. Alright. Welcome to another fantastic episode of Wixaddy's Gaming Corner. I am Dark Soldier 420. And today we will be playing a old school game that hopefully we won't get into trouble for. Assuming that these guys would even realize what it was being played on. They probably won't. As long as I keep my mouth shut. But anyway, so we're going to be playing a game that a lot of people, I don't know, I guess it got a whole lot of mixed reviews. People loved it, and yet at the same time, people didn't. So, we're going to play the wonderful game called Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem.
Flesh, bone, bound together with the oddest magical incantation. This wretched book is where it all began so long ago. Before time, before humanity. I am Dr. Edward Roivas. I am a clinical psychologist. I am also dead. This is not my story, nor even the story of the Roivas family. It is the story of humanity. Like it or not, believe it or not, as you will. Your perceptions will not change reality, but simply color it. Humanity has been on the edge of extinction for 2 millennia. Ignorant of so much, and dependent on so few. The Guardians grow restless. Their time once again near. Whether by fate or misfortune, my family has crossed their path, and they didn't take kindly to it. Their attention turns to my granddaughter, for she is the last of my line. And the last hope for humanity.
Gotta say, if I was having some sort of a nightmare like this, it'd drive me insane. And yes, before you question, I have played this before, so unfortunately it's not going to be one of those where I'm like, oh, and I'm out of bullets. Remember me, Alex. And of course, that particular number becomes very significant throughout the game. Or should I say that time, I guess.
Hello?
Miss Alexandra Roivas?
Yeah, who's this?
This is Inspector LeGrasse of the Rhode Island Police. I'm sorry to disturb you, but there's been an accident with your grandfather.
I'll be on the next flight out.
Ah, Miss Roivas. I'm pleased to meet you. I trust you had a pleasant trip?
Yes, I suppose so, considering.
Yes, my condolences. This is most unpleasant. It's a shame we couldn't meet under brighter circumstances.
Yes, it is. Can we get this over with, please?
Of course. This way. But I must warn you, it's not a pleasant sight.
You know, I have to say, I love the fact that this is...
I'm afraid there's not much to see.
A female protagonist. Excuse me.
Miss Roivas, is that your grandfather, Edward?
Yes, it's him. He's wearing our family ring. I don't understand. Why are you showing me this? Can't you check dental records or something? What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry. It's my job, lady. You're the only living relative, and no, we can't check dental records. There's no... none of this makes sense. There's no sign of intrusion, and there was certainly a lot of force used here. I have never seen anything like this in my 20 years on the force. We have no evidence except for the body, and what's left doesn't say much. We don't have a single clue.
Well, you better find out who did this. I'm not leaving Rhode Island until you do. There must be some clue in this old mansion revealing what happened. I want answers.
So do I. I wish I had some.
Two weeks later, shocked by her grandfather's mysterious death, and frustrated at the incompetence of the local police, Alex vows to uncover the truth. She decides to search the mansion, the place where Edward conducted his research. If there was a tie to his past, and possibly a tie to his murderer, it would be here. Alrighty, so now we're here. So one of the first things we want to do is examine this clock. Because a beautiful clock, beautiful carriage clock, the hands appear to be stuck, yet the clock continues to tick, with the time permanently set to 3:33. There is a key in the back of the clock, presumably for winding it. Should Alex look at the key? Yes. Alex picks up the desk clock and pulls the key from it. However, there is something odd about the key. It isn't for winding it at all. It looks like a dresser key. Whoa. I found a dresser key. Awesome. Alright. Cool. Now, this is one of those games, like I said before, that people either really loved or really hated. And so, it's one of those that you kind of have to get used to. And like I was saying, kind of in the intro, I really like the fact that she is the lead character. As far as the game is concerned, more or less. I mean, in this type of game, I'm not sure how many people have actually played it. Let's see. But, you end up playing more than just her. She's just kind of like the, I guess you would say, main character, and then you have a bunch of this. Let's see. Rewind. This is like the, I'll call it the main chapter. You can examine that. It basically shows the powers, although, you know, when you first play the game, you don't understand what they are, but basically it's saying that red is better than green, green is better than blue, blue is better than red, and then purple could deal with them all. Oh, never mind, and actually, I guess it says, the illustration features a collection of strange line designs related to each other in a cyclical manner. There appears to be some significance to it, but it isn't particularly evident. So, okay. So now that we've had our little fun and kind of... Anyway, let's go ahead and run for a little bit. I guess the nice thing about this game is it actually, when you run, it makes you slow down after a certain point because you're, it's kind of quote-unquote true to life. Anyway. Sorry, I got something in my throat. But this is the family tree. In the warm glow of candlelight, the Roivas family tree hangs from the wall. Shadows flitter across its surface, obscuring the detail. If one looks closely, the family's secrets are revealed. So, you know, if you look, you can see that there's somebody that's hung themselves, I guess. I don't know. A lot of books that are not important yet. there's a lot of stuff that's not important yet. Let's see, you can examine the stuff on the desk. No. You can look at the portrait, but that doesn't really do any good. Let's see, I think you have to come to the clock. You have to... The looming grandfather clock seems to stand ominously in the corner, gazing on this empty room with almost patriarch. Yeah, that error. Use the buttons to adjust the clock hands. Should Alex adjust the clock hands? Yes, we want to adjust the clock hands. So, basically what we're doing is we want to get the magic number, and the clue for the magic number was the time on the clock in the beginning, and the time on the clock in your bedroom, and the time on the clock in the foyer. And that's the clues. So it's kind of like, well, welcome to the inner sanctum, as it were. So a lot of this stuff comes into play later, but we're going to take this Gladius right now so I don't have to do it later. Of course, the only way you can keep a hold of it is if you save at some point. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I haven't decided yet. I would prefer to try and play through an entire chapter at one time, and then move to the, and then, you know, end the video and then move on to the next one. So a large leather-bound antique book rests upon the cluttered desk. Should Alex read the book? Yes, of course.
I had no knowledge of what was to come, nor did I care. How the knowledge changed me, it will also change you. As you read this, you will come to learn fear as I have. You too will come to understand, or you will perish. To think that once I could not see beyond the veil of our reality. To see those who dwell behind. My life now has purpose, for I have learned the frailty of flesh and bone. I was once a fool. Iris quies candamas, iris conservondae. Vacusatis aquae sumat, et animus eorum confirma. Hubna huis, dia sit modo prima multarum, si inceptum conficiamus.
Quam primum, Centurio Augustus. I would like to compliment you once more on your battle tactics. Our enemies did not have a chance. Do you believe that it really exists, Centurion?
I do not doubt our Emperor's beliefs, or his orders. But if we are to retrieve the artifact, then we must be strong and patient.
Sure, you notice the etches on the stone over there. It's one of those games where, for whatever reason, you get to play the enemy's character to begin with, or the enemy character, or whatever we want to call it. Because this is in it. Because I guess she is a ladder leads into the dank heart of the labyrinth. Danger lurks beneath, yet Pius's courageous resolve does not buckle. Should Pius climb down the ladder? So she's reading this book. Excuse me, and this book has given her the details of well, basically what has happened in the last, I don't even know how many years this technically is. So this will probably make me go through the whole tutorial part about, you know, use this to do this and use this to do that and blah 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 blah. Oh, I don't know how to target yet. That's what the problem is. Let's see, I can finish him. Let's see, finish him. Okay. We're not going to worry about all this stuff yet, I guess. Because we'll learn it as we go. Technically, I think this is what you would consider the says Pius has picked up the granite blocks. So these granite blocks come in handy later. You'll see why, but I think this is what you would consider the tutorial level, so to speak. Because this is how you learn how to take care of the enemy. And later on in the game, when you actually, oh, it will let me target, okay. Like I say, later on in the game, when you can target, you're able to get rid of the monsters a little more efficiently, because you can then make it so that they can't see you or whatever, so that you can. So strange granite block rests on a platform. Pick up. Now, each of these colors represents a different different thing. We'll find out later on in the. It's always funny to cut off the arms and just leave the head. But if you cut off the head and leave the arms, they'll just wander around and freaking smack each other. But for whatever reason, if you cut off the arms and it still has its head, it'll still wander after you. Like it's gonna bite you or something, I don't know. It's really strange. So we'll come over here. We'll quickly dispose of this poor creature. And the whole finish him thing kind of gets explained later, and it's not like in Mortal Kombat. It's not a fatality. The game doesn't say fatality. Although that would be kind of funny. Of course, they'd be ripping off Mortal Kombat, so that wouldn't be cool. Alright, but anyway. So, kind of ominous hearing that, but you know, it can be kind of hard when you first start to play this game. I'm not going to say it's easy, just because it's not, in a sense. Especially if you don't know the controls, and you're required to, you know, it's now showing me the symbols that we saw on the blocks, and like I said, each block not only does it represent a specific color, but each of the colors represents a specific thing. And I'm sure it eventually tells you, but I'll just, so we can get it out of the way. Oh, I got hit. So now it's going to tell me that my health meter, this meter represents life energy. Every time a character takes damage, the level will get lower. When it reaches 0, the character will die. I mean, that's pretty novel, right? This function allows the manipulation of inventory items within the current room. This function allows the current character to ready a weapon. So if you happen to be playing a game and finding a different weapon than the one you currently have, you can, you know, obviously. This function will allow the examination of objects within the inventory. That's more useful when you're Alex than when you're anybody else, but sometimes it's good when you're others. So pressing the L or R allows switching back and forth between sections within the interface. So we're just going to exit back out. So that, yeah, so that showed me, yeah. So, and eventually, like, see these guys, because they just swing, you know, because they can't see, so they swing, and eventually, you know, they could eventually hurt each other to the point to where they would just die. Sometimes, though, if they do that, you can't get the whole finish him. Like I said, that gets explained later, but maybe I should just take the time to explain it all so I don't have to do it later. Even though I think the game will anyway. But anyway, so you gotta pick up these blocks, and then you have to go to their respective spot, and then you have to go to the menu and use the thing. Don't examine, because even though that's the way some games are. So we're gonna select the granite block and we're gonna use it on the spot. So that's purple. That particular deity can control all 3 of the colors. Green, as you'll later find out, once you get the sanity meter, controls sanity. Red, as you've noticed, controls, or is, you know, your health. So it will control your health. I would have to, well, explain it later. I'll explain it later what the dealio is between them all. And then blue, oh, I didn't mean to do that, as we will find out later, refers to a magic meter. And if I remember correctly, I don't think you get magic until later on, like chapter 2 or so. If you were to count this as chapter 1, it would probably be like chapter 3. But anyway, so that was just showing me that after I put all those blocks in, that activated it so that the shield or the whatever on this door went down. So now I can go in here and I come face to face with myself. And this is the part of the tutorial that it teaches you how to target. So it says, Pius, you must prove your words by destroying the statue. Pressing R will enable Pius to select which target to attack. Releasing R slightly and then pressing it again will cycle between multiple targets. Pius can attack specific body parts while locked onto an enemy. By moving the D-pad, or the, yeah, anyway, and pressing A. The joypad, the joystick. And anyway, so then, you know, it shows you blah, blah, blah to attack the arms. So the point is in a sense, they're making you attack yourself. Because even the statue, you know, it says at the bottom, Pius Augustus. But they're making you attack yourself to prove that, you know, you're willing to go to whatever lengths to get to your end goal. And so you're willing to destroy yourself, more or less, to get to the end. And really, for the most part, these guys, they're really slow. They're not too incredibly hard to get, especially if you've played. There's been a few times that I haven't played for like a while, and then I went back to try and play it again, and like I couldn't remember some of the controls or whatever, and it was like, oh my gosh, I didn't remember it being this hard. But then, you know, I had forgotten how to kind of do things, and so, you know, and it's a fun game. I've enjoyed it since the first time I ever played it. A button attached to a small pylon softly illuminates the room. A bizarre energy seems to radiate from it. Should Pius push the button? Yes. Yes, Pius should. So now I'm locked in, and once again these little triangular things have the symbols from the block. You can see they're carved in there, and each one represents a deity that we'll find out in just a little bit, the names of said deities. Now, at the beginning of the game, well, not at the very beginning, but at the beginning of the game, of this episode, if that's what you'll call it, the Centurions, or whatever, they were talking about an artifact. And I often wondered if this is what they were referring to, because each one of these is referred to as an artifact. So, and each one goes to a separate deity. So this being red signifies your health. So if you fight against the red monsters, you as the good guy fight against red monsters, it drains your health first. If you choose the blue one and you have to fight about the blue one, it will drain your magic first. But the good thing about magic is that if you just run around in a circle, it makes your magic regenerate. Your health, on the other hand, you can't do anything about until you learn how to do the health spell. Until you can learn how to do the health spell, you can't do anything about your health. There's no potions, there's no whatever in this game. You have to learn that spell so you can heal yourself. You have to have magic in order to do that. So that one's not so bad. This one is kind of this one is one of the harder ones that I found, because it drains your sanity. And once your sanity gets depleted, it then starts working on your health, whereas the other ones don't. They don't affect anything else but what their main thing is. But this one, the green one, if it affects your sanity, it'll, you know, and your sanity is gone, it'll eventually start eating away your health. So because it's been a while since I played this, I think I'm going to pick the blue guys. The blue one. And its name is Ulyaoth, I believe. It says, shaped like a delicate dome, a pale blue statuette floats gracefully above the pedestal. Should Pius claim this artifact? Yes. I could not imagine what that would be like. You know, the pain and torment this poor guy went through to be transformed into that.
Eons have passed since then, and I have learned much. All at once, I understood. The forces of the multiverse all made sense under the transcending power of Ulyaoth. No mountain too high, no city too far. Face me, and you shall surely perish.
Alright, so Alex has acquired the Tome of Eternal Darkness. So, alright, so that was that little chapter. Wasn't little. It took me a while, but anyway, so I'm most likely going to leave the episode here. But I just wanted to leave, you know, with one thing in parting. The first chapter that I'll be playing the next time I do the Let's Play of Eternal Darkness is right there on the wall, and so we'll just pick that up the next time. I don't want to pick it up now because it'll thrust me right into that particular chapter, so I don't want to deal with that. And the chapters that you have to play are scattered throughout the house, and you have to learn more and more magic, I believe, in order to get to certain spots. So anyway, if you liked it, don't forget to kick that like button in the teeth, subscribe, tell everybody, your mom, your dad, your uncle, your nephew. I mean, especially tell, you know, people that may really enjoy this game, that have played it before, you know, that maybe they want to watch the walkthrough with this guy. I mean, tell them about this weird Dark Soldier 420 that did this it's not really a walkthrough, but a playthrough of Eternal Darkness, and let them know. Just let them know. Okay, I'm out.